If you've spent any time on YouTube, most likely you've seen a laser in somebody's shop. But is it worth the investment? Let's talk about it today on Salty Woodworking. Now, if your question is, do you need a laser engraver in your wood shop? I mean, the honest answer is no. I would definitely classify this as a luxury item, as in you don't need it, but it can definitely make things easier. Like, you don't need a fancy coffee machine just to make coffee, but sometimes it makes the experience just a little bit better. If you've seen my previous videos, you've seen me use a laser engraver before. However, the last one I had really didn't meet my expectations, and that's why I didn't use it as much as I really wanted to. So when Creality reached out to me to try out their flagship model, I had to give it a shot. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So full transparency, Creality did send me out this machine to try out. They sent it to me for free, so I didn't have to pay for it. However, they haven't paid me to make a review. This isn't a review of this machine. However, you'll see the capabilities of this machine throughout the video. So it's going to be completely unbiased because it's not, like I said, a dedicated review to this machine at all. And I mean, there's some things I like and some things I don't like about it. And throughout the video, I'm kind of going to talk about the machine just a little bit, but just wanted to be completely transparent with you guys. They did send this to me, but that doesn't influence a bias on me at all. So everything I say will be true in how I feel about it. So I know what scares a lot of people about these machines is the software that you have to use. It's really not that hard. I use a program called Lightroom. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the video, but it's very, very simple to use, and there's hundreds of videos online on how to use it. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Let's go ahead and unbox this puppy from the past and show you how easy it was to put together. As we dig in, you might be asking yourself, what are some real-world applications for a laser engraver? Some of the things I use it for would be adding logos, adding inlays, router templates, and making signs. I've seen a bunch of projects people use to sell on Etsy and Facebook Marketplace, but that's just not really my thing. So for the most part, I've only used it in the shop for myself and making smaller things for family and friends. Now that I have this thing put together, let's talk about what you need in order to get started. Now, there are a few programs that you can use when it comes to running a laser. However, like I said before, I stick to Lightburn. It isn't a free program. It is a one-time purchase of $60, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Now, this won't be a Lightburn tutorial because, to be completely honest, I don't know enough about the program to really make an in-depth tutorial. There's hundreds of videos that you can find on whatever you want to know. But throughout the course of this video, if there are any key points that I feel the need to bring up, I will bring it up and show you the screen on Lightburn. We're going to get started with a material test. Let's put some wood in here and try it out. A material test is an important step to do when you get your laser set up, or if you're going to be using a material that you've never lasered before. What this does is runs a test at different speeds and power. This will help you when it comes to planning out your project so you know what settings that you have to use. You just go here to Laser Tools, Material Test. Boom, you're good to go. Now you can preview what it's going to look like. So it's going to go from 600 millimeters a minute up to 18,000, and then from 10% power to 100% power. You don't even have to touch anything after this. Just press play and go for it. So let's see how this came out. So ignore the first one. We're going to look at this completed one to kind of see, make sure you're okay, see the results of it. So the way this works is it shows the slowest in speed, then goes up, lowest in power, then goes up. So as you can see, I can go, that's about 2,500 millimeters a minute at 100% power, and it'll still cut through, which is pretty crazy. That's pretty fast. But this gives you a grid on like how much shading you want in a project and what kind of coloring you want. Now that we know this information, let's take it and do something with it. So the Falcon 2 Pro has 40 watts of power, which in the world of diode lasers, that's actually pretty powerful. I've used it on a handful of different materials so far that actually came out pretty decent. I ended up putting my logo on one of my squares, and I was actually surprised that this even worked because my last laser would not touch metal. I was able to cut out and engrave onto acrylic. The downside about a diode laser is you cannot cut clear acrylic. So there's a science behind it. I don't fully understand it. It's something about the way the light beams inside the piece of acrylic and all. I was under the wrong assumption when I first started getting into lasers that I thought a diode could do this, but you gotta go to a CO2 laser. Kind of a bummer on that, but you can do colored acrylic with no problem. And then of course you can do wood. So I mean, you can do engraving, you can do cutting. These were engraved and cut out on the laser. Creality claims that that machine can cut through 3/4 inch plywood in one pass. I didn't have luck with that. Last night I tried making a sign. I'm not gonna show the whole thing because it's my address on here. You can see where that laser went through, and that was like 5 or 6 passes at 100% power, and I think it was only like 500 speed is what I was at. So very slow, as powerful as it could be, and it still couldn't cut through 3/4 inch plywood. So I was a little disappointed about that. It'll cut through 1/2 inch wood with no problem. I think this was maybe 2 passes and I got through it, and it was quick. Kind of wish it would cut through a little bit thicker, but you know, until you bump up to something a bit more powerful, you're not gonna get that. But anyways, with all that being said, let's use this machine for the main thing I use it for, which is putting my logo on something. And I'm gonna find something in here to quickly put my logo on so I can show you guys just how easy it is. Now, I think most of us want to put our logo on the creations that we make because we spend so much time, and of course, we want to show off our name so people know who made it. Some people do it with the metal brands, but for me, they've been inconsistent because if you don't get it hot enough, not enough pressure, whatever, it's a little bit hard to do. So instead, I use my laser, which if you watched one of my previous videos of me building my outdoor dining table, you can see I use my laser to put my logo on the end of the table. If you haven't checked out that video, I'll make sure to put a link up in the corner. Check it out, it's a pretty good one. I got my mallet. This was one of the first projects I put on YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my logo on the side right here, and I'm gonna show you just how easy it is to do. One of my favorite features about this laser is the camera on the top of the frame. So I can click camera control, update overlay, and now I have what's on the laser bed right in front of me on the screen, so I can place my design and not have to guess where it's at. It's super easy to line stuff up doing it this way. So I can put my logo on the screen here, put it exactly where I want it to be on the mallet, and then press start, and it's good to go, and it's gonna be exactly where it shows on the camera. So I'm gonna do some quick settings real quick and send it over to the machine to start engraving. Oh, just like that. Got my logo on my hammer. I put it a little bit too low, just by like a tad bit, but it came out pretty sweet. I don't know how well you can see on camera. See if I get it to focus. I'm gonna be all the way back here. It is pretty deep. So that came out pretty nice. Now I have a logo on here, so I know it's my hammer for sure whenever I'm hitting with stuff, as if it wouldn't be. It is my shop, you know. But let's move on to something else I've seen people use, is inlays. Let's say I wanted to inlay my logo into this piece of pine. It can't be that hard, right? I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. I have some walnut 3mm plywood, but I'm gonna inlay my logo into this piece of pine just so I can show you guys just how easy it is. I'm gonna start off by throwing my logo in here. So we'll get that on the screen. I wanna make it small because I don't wanna take all night doing this. This is just a PNG that I have, so it's not an actual vector image. So what I'm gonna do is right click, hit trace, it's gonna outline it, then boom, we're good to go. Now I have everything I need. So as you can see on Lightburn, you have a line, a fill, and an offset fill option. The two that we're gonna be using is line and fill. For the piece of pine, I want this to have the recess for the inlay, so I'm gonna use fill. I'm gonna set this to, I don't know, we're gonna give it a shot at speed of 1200 at 100% power as fill. And I'm actually gonna do it as offset fill. That way it does a letter by letter. It's usually a little bit quicker. And just for sake of the video, to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to delete the woodworking part, just so we can keep the letters big and it's a little bit easier to use. And now we're gonna go for it. All right, now that is done, it went a lot deeper than I thought it was going to, so I'm gonna end up actually cutting out a couple pieces of the inlays just so we can make sure it fits. I'm gonna come over to light burn, update my camera view, boom, update overlay, and I'm not gonna change the size at all. But like I said, I'm gonna add a few of them. Instead, we're just gonna go ahead and copy and paste. I don't know, 4 will probably be good, I would think. And instead of this being on the offset fill, we're gonna just use a line. So this way, this is just gonna cut one shot straight through this, and this isn't gonna try to fill it. It's just gonna outline and cut it out. That way it should be a perfect inlay for the piece of pine. We'll take these to the workbench and they should fit in perfectly to the female part we already cut. It's inlaid pretty good. Now, I don't have my settings dialed perfectly on this machine yet, just because I recently got it, so I don't have too much time with it. So there's a little bit of gaps, but once you get this dialed in, you can see just how easy it is to do inlays. Now, of course, you need to let this thing dry, sand it down, and then you could use a little bit of wood glue to fill up the little gaps, and you'd be good to go. But that's just another thing you can do with a laser engraver that I think is pretty darn cool, if you ask me. If you don't have a Shaper Origin or a CNC, like most of us, including myself, this part of the laser is, to me, the most fundamental and the best part of a laser in a wood shop. That would be router templates. You can basically make almost any kind of template you could think of to use on a router and use it. And it cuts it out with absolute precision. You can make the female parts or the male parts. I'm sure you've seen all the acrylic sets of router templates for like bow ties and the little crosses and plus signs they use and stuff like that, or charcuterie board templates. You can do that with the laser engraver. You might not be able to do it out of acrylic, depending on what kind of laser you get, but you can most definitely do it out of wood. And in my opinion, that brings the most value for a laser in your shop. It's definitely not the only reason you should get one, but with something like this that can cut 1/2-inch plywood relatively quick with no problem, it's kind of hard to not justify it strictly just for the router templates alone. Because if you make fine furniture or anything, you use router templates all the time. Just got this machine. I haven't actually made any templates yet with this machine. So in the future, I plan on it. Stick around with my videos, subscribe to the channel, and you'll see me later on make some templates with this router and actually get to see it in use. However, there's tons and tons of videos online of people doing just that. You can also find templates online for routers with a laser. It's definitely something you might want to check out. So something I've been wanting to make for a little while now is a sign, like a 3-dimensional sign for my office upstairs. So we're gonna go ahead and try to make one with the laser. I'm gonna show you just how easy it is to whip up a quick little sign in Lightroom. So I'll make it a little bit bigger than this. We're gonna start with the original logo, just like that. So we'll place that, let's call it right about here. And so if we wanna frame this out into kind of a sign-like situation, we're gonna draw a box around it. So to give it a little bit of spice, I'm gonna come to the radius tool over here and go to a negative number. Then I can press on each corner, just like this. Go ahead and move over. Do these other corners. And just like that, we have some sort of a sign looking kind of thing. So now that we have our outline, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this here to a different color. Now I'm gonna set this to line still, but a very weak power. So we'll do 20%. Actually, we'll do 10%, just because I want a really weak line. That's all I need. I'm gonna go super fast at 12,000. Set the outside to cut. So 600 at 100. And then what we're gonna do is copy this, paste it, place it right above it, and now change this also to a cut line. And what's gonna happen here is it's gonna make a small outline just of the salty here. So when we have our letters cut out, I have an easy glue line to go onto. It just makes it a little bit easier in the long run. You'll see once this thing gets printing. You can see how it has a slight engraving on here so I can line up my letters. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and just put this on with some CA glue. Just like that, I got myself a sweet little sign I made. It took about 4 minutes in the printer, maybe 30 seconds of gluing up, and it's good to go. Honestly, you could probably sell these on Etsy for like 10 bucks or so, which is how much a pack of this plywood cost. Pretty doggone cool if you ask me. Now look, I'll be honest, my first thought with buying a laser was seeing other people's products that they were selling on Etsy and Facebook like that, and was, you know, it's that easy just to make some products and sell them. You just make a design, quickly print it out, and then you're good to go. It's really not that easy, but of course, if you want to put the time and dedication to do it, you definitely can. I am not discouraging you by any means. There's tons of products that I've seen made, anything from simple little bookmarks up to like crazy, complicated puzzles that you make, or like these 3D sculptures almost that you get to put together and print out, or not print out, but laser out. It's so cool. So there's definitely options out there if you'd want to try to make laser products to sell. However, that's not what I'm going after. I'm looking at this more of a tool for my shop, and then if I happen to make some money on the side with it, fantastic. That's just another benefit, but it's not really what I'm going after. So in my opinion, there's a lot of different things that a laser can be for, and they can match certain people better than other people. It all kind of just depends on what you're after and what your end goal is. Do you want to use it to make money, or do you want to use it just for your shop? There's two wildly different things there, which you're not limited to either. So that's one of the cool parts about the laser, in my opinion, is I think that it unlocks a level of creativity that we couldn't get before. So these lasers are getting better and better day by day. It's the same thing with 3D printers. You know, if you look at a 3D printer from 5 years ago, it is nowhere near as good as it is today. Technology is constantly advancing, and in some aspects, we kind of need to try to keep up with it as much as we can. So in conclusion, do I think you need a laser in your workshop? No, it is most definitely not a necessary item by any means. Does it make things better? Most definitely. So if you can swing the cash, I definitely see it being worth adding to your shop if you can. And if you're interested in getting the Falcon 2 Pro that I have, click the link below. I do have a link in the description. Now I get a little kickback from it, but that helps these videos, keep going. Now you don't have to get the laser that I use in this video by any means. It's not one of the budget lasers, as some people would call them. It's also not one of the super high-end ones either. However, it is still relatively expensive for the majority of the people. With that being said, there's hundreds of videos online of people comparing laser to laser and stuff like that, so you can make an educated decision on what it is that you want and what would fit best in your shop. So I highly recommend you take the time, do your due diligence, do your research before you go purchase a laser if you're gonna get one for yourself. With that being said, if you made it this far in the video, I wanna thank you guys. If you don't mind, drop a sub on the channel, drop a like on the video, share it. As always, get in your shop, build something, and stay salty.